We've got some merch at last on Teespring, and the reason I set it up was to donate funds to the Seahorse Trust from my Seahorse collection, and for the lovers of the Coronet yacht, there's shirts there for you as well. Hello everyone, my name's Brian Davis and welcome to another video in my Oxygen First Aid, Oxygen Administration series. This was going to be the last one, but I am working on a couple of projects with Critter Hunter, so there'll be one or two more videos come up as we develop a cost-effective, robust oxygen system for use by independent dive masters and instructors in the Philippines. Our plan is on the first one to go in a village in Darwin, probably in the care of the dive master that takes Critter Hunter on all his dives, Alex, so it'll be there for anyone to use. So we're working on that as a collaboration, so hit the subscribe button if you want to see what we end up doing. To my friend UK diver Andy Walters, sorry mate, it's not a video about the Marinox O2 system, which is really good if you're diving in a wet boat in the UK with quick emergency response. But for me, what we do, it doesn't carry enough O2, which I'm going to explain now. So let's start off with the cylinders. This is a aluminium, what they call 100 cubic feet. We fill them to 200 bar, not 207. In metric, they're about 13 litres. That gives us 2,600 litres of available oxygen. We've got a smaller cylinder here, which gives us about 1260. I'm not going to repeat all that again, and we'll come to the durations in a minute. And if you look down here, like I did on my Dan O2 cylinder, I've put the durations you've got gas for. It just helps the first aid responder understand quickly how much gas he's got, because sometimes you may be in a situation where you've got to share some gas, so you've got to treat the worst casualty first. If there's some symptoms improve, you may have to put another casualty, and you may have to share. So it just gives an idea. I did make a mistake here because these numbers should be the same, because when I'm running the oxygen regulator, I'm going to have one on non-rebreather mask and one on demand. So I will correct that. That should be the same number. It would actually be 108 minutes. I want 4 hours, because when I go offshore, it could take us 4 hours to get back. Dubai Police have an absolutely amazing rescue service. They've got their own recompression chamber, so we're lucky. But I may have to get to the dock, phones may not work, radio may be out, so I want enough oxygen to get back to the dock with 2 casualties. So I've got 2 of these, and I've got this smaller one, which is also useful. It's easy to transport. It's an tanker BA bottle which we've oxygen cleaned, and this gives me 52 minutes. So I've got a total of 280 minutes of oxygen available, which is what I need. Just a couple of other things before we take these off the table. We've got our pressure check stickers, which I may make up myself. These do get damaged a bit and we do have to change them. And just on the screen now, you'll see a screenshot of Dive Signs in the UK who custom make stickers. So I'm going to talk to them. I don't know if they can do it or not, but see if they can custom make these stickers and these stickers, so they'll be much more durable and last much. I'm not sure if they will, but if they do agree or can do it, I will announce it, probably on the Critter Hunter oxygen video. But you see, every month we check the pressure. This is 200 on this one, 150, and the initials of the person who's done it. We find these these are valve plugs, very common with technical divers, for making sure their trimix doesn't leak through the valve. These are older ones, so if there has been leak through the valve, obviously there's going to be pressure build up. We need to release that pressure, so we have an Allen key in the kit, and we can just release. There's nothing built up here. We can just release the gas before. If that doesn't come off by hand like this one, went in hand tight, we can just use this spanner just to help it out. Now that's not ideal, but the first plugs were made like this, and this is what we've got. Now Dive Gear Express, my go-to accessory supplier. I'm not sponsored by them, I don't even get a discount, but they just have a lot of useful accessories, which you'll see I've used in the kit, which just make it easier, and it's quite cost effective. So I'm going to buy their new ones, and it's just got a little pushing button to release it, so then we can get rid of these 2 items. So the old KISS syndrome, keep it simple, stupid, right? So that's it for the cylinders. Obviously we hydro them every 5 years. visual inspection every year, make sure they're still suitable for oxygen service. We'll talk now about the actual oxygen regulator and accessories that I've built into this, which I think make it really suitable for us, and I hope you'll get a couple of new ideas which will help you improve your oxygen first aid or oxygen administration kit. So let's just start off quickly. This is the bag that I use. It's a fairly cheap regulator bag. You know, we are a big boat, we're a dry boat, so we can keep our oxygen kit in here. Now, I know you guys, especially in the UK, oh, we dive in ribs or we're on a hard boat and it gets wet. You can go to Dan in Europe and buy a really nice dry bag. If you're a Dan Europe member, it's cheaper. I mean, if I was using this kit and going, say, to the Philippines on a banker, I would just use a Dan or other waterproof bag and keep it all in there. Let's handle that comment. So what am I going to put in here first? Well, as I mentioned in my Dan O2 video, nowadays we've got to have face masks. These are medical grade face masks, so they're in my heavy duty plastic bags. I like to get everything in. It's worth, you can't buy these in the supermarket, you have to look for heavy duty ones online. They were relatively cheap, I got them through Amazon. So there's 5 face masks. Again, I mentioned it in Dan with their kit every year when to renew that you get 1 pair of gloves. That's not enough. 5 pairs of gloves. This is not on my checklist, it's just a new addition I thought of just prior to filming. Let's keep some sanitizer spray in the bag. Then we'll put the spanner in there. Now let's talk about the regulator system. What have we done different to the Dan? Well, if you've looked at my Dan video or if you've used a Dan regulator, it's essentially an aluminium medical regulator, kind of repurposed for diving use. And what happens with that, you know, you can just see now you get corrosion on the regulators. This is the Dan regulator that we refurbished. What have we done? We thought about this, right? We're divers. Divers nowadays are used to having oxygen clean equipment, nitrox diving, technical diving. I thought, how can I put together a unit which isn't going to corrode, which is going to be easy to repair? Because again, the Dan regulator, generally we can't repair them, we've got to throw them away and buy a new one for a couple $100. So we want something to last a long time. This is what we've put together. I'll talk about the regulator. So we've got 2 oxygen hoses. This first stage is from Dive Gear Express, $69, ready to go, oxygen clean. That's where that comes from. They also do these great SPGs that just screw into the first stage. So we've got 2 oxygen hoses. I didn't get these from Dive Gear Express because I didn't think about it, but I bought them for a similar price from Metal Sub in Spain. Now I think these are about $22 or something from Dive Gear Express, and you can get them in green or green and yellow. I'd recommend, if you're going to do this kind of setup, I would get it all from Dive Gear Express and get the free shipping. So that's got us 2 oxygen hoses so we can run a demand valve. And you're all thinking, how are you going to do constant flow? We'll talk about that very shortly. A very innovative device. So at this end we've got a BCD connector which just goes on to any normal diving LP hose. These are from Dive Gear Express, I think $10 each. But on there you can see I've just put it on. I've used the bag it came in, and I've just put a small tie wrap on there. You could use elastic band, so if I need to use it quickly I can just pull that back, leave that on there and connect what I'm going to show you later. So at this end I had some old Scuba Pro R190s. Alboom Workshop kindly serviced them and made them O2 ready for me, and they didn't charge me for that. I'm very grateful for that. And then I had to think, because we couldn't put a pocket mask like you do on the Dan kits now, what to do. So I found TruFit Mask in America, around $42 I think, around that number. All the links for everything I'm talking about are in the description below, so you ain't got to take notes. This is what Dan O2 masks used to come with, so these fit nicely onto a second stage. And one thing I've just got to check, because I'm not qualified to use them, is that will that work as a power inflator to help you with resuscitation? I think so, but I need to find out. So don't assume that's a power resuscitator. We need to find out. I need to speak to Dan. So we talked about how we're going to do constant flow with a Scuba regulator. Well, here's the answer. It's called RescueEAN, made in the UK. Fantastic kit. A lot of UK technical divers are carrying them in their bags. A lot of UK nitrox divers are carrying them. So what they allow you to do is connect a BCD hose to a constant flow regulator. You see, you go 25, 15 and 0. That's it switched off. We generally use 15 litres, and on this end you just put on a standard non-rebreather mask. Absolutely fantastic. This was designed for the divers just so they could use nitrox as a rescue gas because it's got more O2 in it. And this is the reason I could do this kit, because I could get a constant flow device. They're about £75, including VAT for UK divers, £62.50 if you are outside the UK, but you've got shipping on top. A lot of people want these. Just contact me on my email because I can do a bulk buy. The owner of the company I'm in contact with is an amazing person. He's really done this to help save lives, not for profit. And when you see what's on his website, he's got all the accessories you could ever need, all fairly reasonably priced. That is, for me, one of the best diving innovations to come out recently. And again, it allows you to have a kit like this, which is diver friendly, boat friendly. So a regulator can go in the bag. There we go. So what else have we got? We've got 3 non-rebreather masks. That's the one that came with the RescueEAN. I bought a load of them, 50, I can't remember, but they worked out about $1 each. Actually, I want to talk a bit more about masks because it's a bit, not controversial, but it's hard to find out the right information. Dan traditionally have said, if you look on say daninsider.org, they say this delivers about 80% O2, whereas the demand valve with TruFit will deliver 90 to 95. There's been some more research in Australia. The links to both the Dan Insider with that information and what I'm going to tell you now are in the links below. They're actually saying the efficiency of the non-rebreather mask is much better. You know, it's equal to this type of mask. I was in contact with Dan, Europe. They did say, you see it on the screen below, they did say the research was valid, but they did point out when they did their tests, they were using an oxygen rebreather, but it's still the same mask. So, and in fact, Dan have said the research is valid. I think these actually give you more oxygen than traditionally has been thought. Obviously, there's more research needs doing on that. Now, why did I mention that? Before we do that, I'll just put my RescueEAN sticker on the board, on the boat, so people will ask about it, I can explain to them. I'd like to see all divers who dive with nitrox have one of these in the bag, because then they can just use a diving regulator. Hopefully, I can get a load of these sold. Why was I talking about that? Because the research actually said this wasn't the best. It actually said, so that they call that an oral nasal mask, face mask. This is what they call an intraoral face mask. Guess what it is? It's a normal diving second stage, but I've put, and they're quite hard to find now, a clear mouthpiece on. And they said that with a nose clip is the best, just about. But all 3 systems are good. Why have I got this in the kit? Because I may have a bearded diver. If you notice now, I mean, just go to Andy the Northern Divers YouTube channel, go to UK diver, Andy Walters, they're all growing beards. So if you've got a beard, that is not going to be as efficient. But if they put that in the mouth and put a nose clip on, they're going to get the highest concentration of oxygen. Again, I don't want to go into big debates on that. Read the articles below and let me have some comments. I'm quite happy to be corrected on that. So I've got 2. There was a special deal at diveshop.ie, so I got 2. These are swimmer's nose clips. I tried to look for them at medical suppliers in Dubai and couldn't find them. All these fittings go on finger tight, people. All right, you don't need to tighten them with a spanner. So then we've got pocket mask. Remember, we can at 15 litres per minute connect a hose up onto that and give oxygen assisted CPR. I've got my checklist. Anyone wants, I mean, you should make your own checklist, but if you want copies of what I've done, I'm more than willing to send them to you. And then I've got my accessory kit where I've got the tamper seals and my permanent marker, because like I showed you, we will close this with a tamper seal with the date and who checked it last. Right, a lot of times you go to O2 kits and someone's borrowed something or taken something and you need it. Say in this example, someone's gone on a diving exhibition, oh, I'll just take this with me, and they don't put it back. but they've put the tag on and initialed it, so we know who had it last. Or if the tag's not back, we know something's missing, and to do a recheck. So that goes in there. What have I got in here? I've got my permanent one, which I've marked on there, as I just said. And then for my checklist, 24th of the 2nd, check by BD. Right, cylinder condition, good, good, good. And then here I could just write any comments that I wanted to. Valve cover in place, yes. So that then just, and we use the erasable one, so we can just have one plastic sealed checklist that we can use every time. We're not throwing it away. So all that remains now, that goes on the top, that goes on there. You'll see on here, you know, I've marked on there O2 regulator, right? So there, that goes in there. Then we can feed our tamper seal through there, that through there. There you go, people. So there we are. One boat O2 kit that won't corrode, can be easily looked after, and if you do get it wet, you can just clean it up like normal diving gear and let it dry, put it back in the bag. Comments below, please subscribe. There is another oxygen video coming up. It's the Critter Hunter collaboration, where he's asked me to come up with a cost-effective. I'm working on 2 different ways at the moment. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go. I've got some good ideas. It all depends in many ways what cylinders we can get in the Philippines and how we can refill them and to what pressure. And we're both working on. So I guess in about a month we'll have that video done. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.